Hello, everybody. I'm Don Counts. Welcome into Fayetteville Public Utilities Channel 6, and we are coming to you live to the Breakfast Club over at WEKR and the Newsmakers at WYTM. We have our CEO, General Manager Britt with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Don.
We have this is our last show for 2020 this year, and it's been a big year for FPU, a lot of challenges that we faced, and we made it through it, and we got more challenges in 2021.
That is correct, Don. The challenges are getting tougher every day of all the guidelines we've got to meet of how we do our business. And, 2020 has been a really tough year, but, we're going to move on to 21 with a good positive attitude and try to do the best thing we can, doing things the right way, and try to protect our customers as well as our employees.
And speaking of that, that's going to be the headline today, because we're in the process of starting to close back down the offices due to COVID-19.
That is correct. The cases has picked up, and so the lobbies will start being closed again on Thursday. We're going to try to work everything like we had before through the drive-through window. It was did very well for us. Try to make payments and those kinds of things, or if you got questions, you can go online or website and those Smart Hub. But the lobby on the engineering side would be the same as trying to call in, set an appointment so we can meet with you. And but again, we're doing everything we can to protect our employees as well as the customers.
Our drive-through will be open extended hours. Will be from 7 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. That'll give people more time to come by and pay since the offices are going to be closed.
That's correct, because it is kind of convenient to come through the drive-through window, but you try to have all your information available so we can get you on through pretty quick, with your bill and those kinds of things. But we'll work it out and do it the best and fastest way as we can.
Okay, we're going to go over that one more time before the show's over, so we'll talk about that again. But again, one of the key things is on COVID-19. When you have a company, a utility company like that, where we work. You're doing everything you can to keep our employees healthy, because the health is very important to continue to offer the services that we offer.
That's correct. And, if you really sit back and think about it, you got to have contingency planning in place, and that's what we do. You can't plan for everything that could happen, but we try our best to be prepared, just like the water and wastewater. We can't take the chance of getting everybody where they have to go home and quarantine, because we still got to treat water and make it safe. Same thing as wastewater before it goes back into the river, and all those areas that we got to be sure that we got people that's qualified and certified to work, because you got to be licensed to some degree to be able to do that, and every employee is not licensed at this time. It takes several years to get trained to get those licenses.
Sure. And then moving into the lineman, the electric side, you're continuing to bring people up and train linemen as time goes. Us older folks are aging out a little bit, so that's another challenge that you're facing.
That's correct. We have 6 apprentices right now going through the training process, and we will be picking to see who's going to make it out of the 6. But, they come in at different times starting on Wednesday of this week. That we'll be rotating shifts again for that, so we don't have everybody, to come down and have to go home for quarantine. We got to keep the lights on. We got to keep the water treated, wastewater treated, and telecom hookups going, plus the gas.
The key thing is what you're trying to do is keep our employees as separated as possible, even though we have to work together a little bit. But when it's not totally necessary, we're just trying to keep them apart.
That is correct. We're trying to keep everybody separated the best that we can. Riding together in trucks, we got a limit on that as well. But, we just got to take all the precautions we can with the pandemic, getting worse, as they say, and they expect it to get worse after all the holidays, and we're going to try to be prepared the best that we can be prepared.
I know this decision was made sometime yesterday. I'm sure you've been working on it I'm sure there's a lot goes into making those decisions, because as we talk about, I know you want to do everything we can to continue to serve our customer, but we got to do it in the safest way possible.
That's correct. And, we started planning even from the first time that we had to do this, and then about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, as they were talking about, the increase picking up, and we felt like that maybe we can make it through the Christmas holidays before we put it in, into effect of doing what we're having to do now. So we were able to do that. And so now we really don't have a choice but to go back the way that we were at the first time that the pandemic broke out.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to continue to be as safe for our customers and our employees, and continue to offer the services that we have been doing the best we can during this challenging time, for sure.
That's correct, and it is a challenging time.
That's for sure. A lot of decisions have to be made, and everything's got to be rethought out every time that we do anything. So let's talk about looking back at 2020. We've had a very successful year. One thing that's happened is the fiber grants. We had 2 of those. They're continuing to be built now, and this is big news for our community and Lincoln County.
That's correct. You know, when you go to the northwest part of the county, up around Petersburg and those areas, that we met the deadline that was required by the state to get some funding. We're getting all of our paperwork and working with the state now to see what the outcome of all that's going to be. Then on the south and southwest part of the county, we're still building infrastructure to hook up more customers. But, they're all tickled to death, the ones that have signed up so far, and we're glad to have them as customers. And being able to do this, and wish we could expand in other areas, but, we applied for the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund, which you'll hear mentioned, called RDOF, and we weren't very successful in that because we got underbid, because you had to bid on certain areas. And they went very, very low as far as what they did bid, and we couldn't go that low. But, maybe someday something else will come up from the state. I'm sure that it will on broadband side, and everybody knows how important it is to get that service, and we'll apply again for what could be available.
Yeah, as we look at that, in particular, as we talk to people going to each door to make sure that, they know that this is going to be offered soon. These folks have kids at home, virtual school, and internet is so important these days.
That it is more important than it ever has been.
Yeah, that's for sure, and it's going to continue for sure. Let's talk a little bit about that as it continues to grow. Let's talk about what we're doing in with the cable customers. That's a letter that we are preparing to mail out today to the customer to let them know what the new plan is going to be.
That's correct. The programming cost is exceeding very, very above what average could be as far as, when you're dealing and trying to negotiate with programmers. And so the cost is going to be talking about the cost of different packages, those kinds of things is what's coming out. But we won't be hooking up any more new cable TV customers after the 31st of this month. Mm-hmm. So existing customers we will still work with, but there will be no more new hookup on the cable side. Now, we're still going to be offering internet, voice over IP. We're increasing our speeds, those kinds of things to keep our customers, and we hope you keep FPU as your provider. Okay. But it gets to the point, where you got your bigger folks like Spectrums and Mediacoms and those kind of people that's got their customer bases, 10, 15 times larger than what we have, and they can afford some cost and cost cutting. But if you have Dish TV or something like that, you can see they're going through the same thing with programmers. I got Direct TV because I can't get the FPU cable and right now, but I hope someday that I might be able to get that service. Mm-hmm. But we're trying to do everything we can, but we can't keep raising rates out of the roof to maintain programming costs. So we feel like if you're an existing cable TV customer, we hope you stay, but we will not be hooking up any more new cable TV customers after the 31st.
And you will get a letter from us on that. If you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer those. You can call us at 433-1522. One thing about cable in general, the way there's people watching probably more TV than ever. It's just the way they're watching it is a little different than the traditional cable. There's a lot of people that we're going to continue to serve. The traditional customer of ours that's been with us and stayed with us, we're going to continue serving that customer until they want to go somewhere else.
That is correct.
As long as we can. As long as we're able to.
As long as we're able to.
Yeah.
As long as programming costs
don't.
Right. But the thing that we're getting so many questions on now is, it's about all new technology and how you can provide a better service and all this younger generation, it's not a bad thing. I'm learning myself, but you know, when you go Netflix, Hulu, it's all internet based now, what most of the customers are wanting, and those kinds of things. And we got to be prepared. We are prepared. Matter of fact, we're already doing that, of offering those services. And, you know, and we hope to continue to do that.
Yep. Well, again, you'll be getting a letter from us if you are an FPU telecom customer, and we will be glad to help you or answer any questions you have on that as well whenever they do. And I think we're heading in the right direction. We got to do what we got to do. A lot of people might not understand, Britt, that you're every channel, most every channel, a lot of the channels you have to we're paying for per subscriber, per customer we have to pay, and then that adds up to be a pretty large bill, and we realize that could get over what most people want to pay.
That is correct. You know, we've talked about this several years now about, you know, what the future of cable TV holds, and we stayed in it, and we're still in it, but, you know, it's just getting where the programmers, you know, you can't negotiate hardly much anymore to get a reduced rate, and they're the ones that control it. So, it's just getting so high. Again, like I said, you know, you'd have to put your rates up there so high that, you know, your customers, they're not going to pay that highest rate like that for programming.
That's right. All right. Well, we will be sending a letter out today, and you'll be getting that, and hopefully it will give you all the information you need. Britt, one thing that we have been very successful with here about this time of year is Harvest of Hope, the food drive. We've had a lot of food come through here, and we appreciate everybody who's brought food by here for this food goes. We will now transport it from here to Good Samaritan, and they're very appreciative, and I'm sure the end person who receives the food is going to be very happy.
Well, I'm sure, and it's just amazing of how all the customers that bring food in here, and, you know, some of them, it's lots and lots of food, and we really appreciate that again, because it helps a lot of people that really need all that they can get, and it's just amazing how people join in and make it a group effort to make this happen.
Yeah, and some families are doing it as a tradition. They've been doing it for years. Some lady was bringing food in, and she's done it every year. And, you know, we try to promote it a little bit here on the Breakfast Club Newsmakers, and we do social media and this, that, and the other, but it's just amazing how many people bring that in, and we appreciate that very much. And we've got we will be carrying that through the 31st, and we'll then next week, I guess January 4th, we'll carry the food over to Good Samaritan, and they're very appreciative, and we appreciate those folks over there. Let's talk a little bit about our outage management map. We've talked about that a little bit. You know, if somebody's got an outage at their house, they can look on their phone now through Smart Hub or through our website, and they can see what the outages we have.
That's correct. You know, it'll light up there that's got a big outage or two outages or one outages. You just have to give it time, you know, to update every time. And, you know, it's going to be a successful little project that we've been working on for a while to be sure that it's correct. And that's what you have to know, is it's got to be correct.
That's right.
So, you know, it's moving that way, and several other things that we're doing this past year that we're increasing as far as new technology, working a lot more equipment up on fiber to get the data and the statuses of the equipment coming back into the office to our SCADA system. And, you know, that's all on the water as well, and the wastewater, and we still have the system set up for the gas. And, you know, as much information we can get in here, it would help us respond quicker and know what direction that we need to go.
Yeah. Well, I look at Smart Hub every day, monitor my electric, and so my bill's never a surprise because I sort of have an idea. You know, cold days it's going to use more and that kind of thing. But Smart Hub's an app that you can get, and it'll give you all that information right there at your fingertips. And I really like that. I think the technology's amazing, and we've come a long way in your 40-something years here from SCADA. And then did you ever dream that we would be able to read the meter without? I guess you may have heard of that for a long time, but do you ever think that would happen here?
Well, to the extent it is today, probably not. But, you know, it used to be where back when they first started you bought your power with a credit card, and then you would swipe the card in some kind of a reader, then that would turn your lights on.
Oh.
Until that kilowatt hours that you purchased runs out, and then they got something like a little emergency card. But, you know, that's the way it started out back years ago, and then they went to wireless, and then they went to broadband to some degree. And so now where we are reading, we do still read some of our meters wireless, but the gatekeepers that we have in place now, we'll be tying some of those into our fiber to get a better sequence of reading meters, because sometimes when the foliage gets backed up on the trees, it causes a problem to some degree, but it's working out well.
In the not so distant past, we had meter readers that literally went to every household or every meter in the county every month.
Absolutely. We'd go to every meter, you write the reading down, you figure it in the field, and then you got how many kilowatt hours, because the customer want to know how many kilowatt hours they use this month to last month, and so you're sitting there figuring on a little pad every time you read a meter. So
if you had to go back to that, that'd be a big undertaking to go back into that direction.
It was a pretty good deal, but that's when you had 8 to 12 meter readers.
Oh, okay.
You had that many people out in the field, and it would take you two and a half days to read somewhere else, where you're talking about minutes now.
Yeah.
So.
And then again, going back a little bit, they had these meters that you could get in certain areas and gather up a whole lot of the information, at multiple meters.
That's correct.
So,
you drive by and read.
That's right, drive by and read. And now we've gone to where it's reading here in the building, and that's just amazing, and I like that for sure. But anyway, so we've come a long way, especially in your time. You say I've seen a lot of things change in my going on 20 years, and you're 40. You've seen a lot, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot before we leave.
There'll be a lot more changes made, before I leave, before you leave, and some of these other younger generation leave, and we just have to be sure that we get the people trained and
That's right.
Know what they're doing, and can continue on with the good work. So, we got a big work plan coming in on the electric side for the next 4 to 5 years. Some of that will be improvements down the Huntsville Highway. You have to, when you talk about gas lines, you talk about water lines, sewer lines, you have to rehab, replace. The same thing's got to happen on the electric side as far as conductor. The conductor that's up in the air, it don't stay there forever. And we got some old conductor out there that we'll be changing in our new work plan that's coming up as well. And then we got another rehab work that's be taking place on the water side.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of guys working, it looks like, down the Huntsville Highway. Maybe you tell what's going on there. We're building some lines. They're going to maybe to the new restaurant or something.
Yeah, we build lines, and you got some work going on the Highway 55 burger.
Oh, okay.
And then, we got some other lines that we'll be replacing poles, which we've changed out several poles in the last few months. Sometimes it's hard to get to with the rain that we've been having, and they're calling more rain for Wednesday night all through Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
But, we'll still be here to go to work 24/7.
Yep, looking forward to 2021. One thing that's been around for a long time, Britt, is grind a pine. That's going on now. So if you've got a Christmas tree that you want to get rid of, you can take it down between the recycling center and the museum. There's a little sign there. You can drop your tree off there, and we're going to grind them up, and you can have some mulch.
That is correct. All you had to do is bring a bag or a box, and if you see some mulch there, just come in and pick you up some mulch and take it home and use it.
That's right. So that's been around for a long time. People still have those real Christmas trees. I don't know how many was down there yesterday, but there was a few. And so our guys will grind those up later this week. And then next week you'll have a pile of mulch, and we want you to go by and pick it up. All right. One more thing we want to talk about before we go is remind everybody about the lobbies being closed.
Yes,
coming
lobbies,
up.
That's correct. Lobbies will start being closed on Thursday. The line crew will be starting new shifts on Wednesday. We're getting all that put back in place today, but it starts tomorrow on the line crews, all the operations outside actually, and then the lobbies on Thursday. So, we'll do that until we see what happens with the COVID, and then we'll make a decision and, look at it every day and see what direction we're going to go.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your leadership and what you've done here today, what you've done to keep us safe, or trying to keep us safe, and we hope everybody stays safe from COVID-19. And we're going to do our best to keep offering the services we've been offering and trying to keep our people healthy. And we appreciate everybody trying to distance themselves to try to keep as healthy as possible. And sometimes, no matter what you do, you still get it, but hopefully you can get through it.
The employees have done a great job of trying to do the right thing, and it's hard to always be where you're not going to get it, but they're really trying hard of, what goes on outside of work. We can only control what's going on inside of work.
Right.
And, but it's like you said, you don't never know. You can do everything you can and still get it, and don't know how you end up getting it.
Right.
But you hope that everybody, not just FPU employees, but everybody out there, all of our customers are doing the right thing.
That's right. All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. It's been a tough 2020, but we're looking for a great 2021, and we're going to keep on keeping on.
Yes, we are.
All right. We appreciate it. We've had our CEO, General Manager Britt Dye, with us this morning on our last show here on the Breakfast Club Newsmakers for 2020. We will see you back in here next year, and we appreciate you watching on Fayetteville Public Utilities Channel 6 and on both radio stations. I'm Don Counts. We'll see you back here next time.